Okay, dope. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another short episode. This one we plan to we plan to cover our three favorite creators with Alex. So in total, we will do six. Let's see if some will overlap. This was a question in one of my Ask Me Anything on Twitter. So this is an answer. I think Moina asked for this one. So let's go, Alex. Maybe you do one, I do one, you do one, I do one. Let's do it in that sort of way.
Awesome. So for me, one of my favorite creators is a YouTube channel called Yes Theory. It's maybe you know them because it's a group of guys that basically their whole mantra is to get out of their comfort zone to grow as a person, right? So they do all of these kind of crazy challenges. Like, for example, I remember one episode, it was like throw a dart into like a world map, and when it lands, then you need to fly there. And within, so you fly there, and within 24 hours, you need to like find a place to sleep and something like that. So it's this kind of challenges that kind of pushes them outside of their comfort zone, and it forces them to connect with other people from all around the world and to rely like on the kindness of those people. So that was, like, it's a super inspiring channel for me. It really helped me. Like, I started watching them for 3-4 years ago, when they were like a relatively small channel. I think they had like 200k subscribers. Right now it's 6 or 7 million. So they kind of grow like a lot, and like they have their whole business, and they actually have a clothing brand. And now that I think about it, I have a t-shirt, it says seek discomfort. For the ones that are watching, you can see it. And it's super cool, like the message, like seek discomfort, get out of your comfort zone. So their video, like their YouTube episodes, are super fun. It's usually 10, 15, 20 minutes long. And sometimes it's a lot about exploring places in the planet, or meeting with interesting people, and making these discomfort challenges. So it's super, super cool, and it's super fun for me. Every time they release an episode, it's like I get the notification bell on YouTube. I have it for the channel only, and I get there, I watch it because it's super cool. So
I'm not subscribed to them, but I've definitely seen their videos. I think I discovered their videos because I know they did one episode with this guy from Netherlands called Wim Hof, who is like this Iceman dude who just takes these cold baths and just do crazy stuff. So they kind of did a camp with him. It was pretty cool to watch. So yeah, definitely thumbs up to those guys. Shout out from this massive audience, huge pod.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good one. I loved it. I will do my first one as well. I will do them in the way how I discovered them. So the first one goes to Tim Ferris, because that guy has totally changed my life. He kind of got me really hooked into personal development, because I still remember how I was like, still to this day, I don't read long, thick books. I kind of try to read, but I have never like really finished the book. I only mostly listen to audiobooks. I'm super lame. I never developed a reading habit, whatever, that's the case. But basically, when I was just starting to explore a couple of like more than 4 years ago, when I kind of wanted to do something online, and I was curious about online business and that side type of stuff, I somehow stumbled upon this book, The 4-Hour Workweek, made by him, and that title, even if you don't read books, that title is so compelling, and you just wanna know what's inside that thing. And I kind of was like, still, I was thinking I don't read books, so I put it on the side. But later on, I discovered this thing, Audible, which is audiobooks, and then I was like, oh my god, you can listen to the books. I could try to listen to this 4-Hour Workweek. And I still remember to this day how I started to listen to that book. I was around 2 hours into the book. I was standing in my bedroom in my apartment in the city center, and I had this epiphany, like, holy shit, Janis, you've been such an idiot. Because just the amount, because at that point at my life, I was thinking, I'm a pretty smart dude. I know things, I got life and so on. And I was just blown away with this information and that how people were living. And yeah, my brain was on the floor. I was completely immersed in this. And that's kind of where my extreme self-development journey started. And huge love for Tim Ferris. I love his podcast. I love his books. Not read all of them, but yeah, to me, I have a very, very warm place for Tim Ferris in my heart, because I feel he really is one of the persons who have kind of indirectly changed my life.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I also remember seeing that book, and to be honest, I haven't read it the whole thing. Maybe I should try to listen to it, but I read it and I stopped. I don't know why, but for me it was also like super mind blowing, because I kind of discovered, like that it was this whole thing that you don't need to be working, that many hours per week, and there is other ways to do it and other ways to like leverage your time and stuff like that. So for me, it's also like Tim Ferriss is like a super inspiring person, and I don't follow him as much as you do, but every time I see something from him, it's something good. It's going to be like insightful for sure. So I
Yeah,
like.
yeah, he's definitely a good one. So okay, what's the next one for you, and what maybe is like your core takeaway or lesson from them?
Yeah. So for me, the next one is Will Smith.
Love that guy.
I've been kind of obsessed, not obsessed, but like consuming a lot of his content recently, and it has been. I mean, he was already one of my favorite actors, like from all time, because Men in Black, like super cool movies. I Am Legend is another super cool movie that I really like, and basically almost every movie that he makes is it's going to be a good movie if he's in it. Also, The Fresh Prince, back in the day, they used to put it here on Spanish TV like a lot when I was a kid, and I remember like watching him, and I laughing a lot. So on the actor side, but then I discovered that he's also like a creator on other things. So he has a YouTube channel. He just published a book, which is super good. I mean, you already heard it because you hear like the book. So I'm currently going through it, and it's super interesting. It's an autobiography, and I think what I really like about him is how kind of open he is about him as a movie star, but also like him as a person, and like all the struggles that he has. Like he's not afraid to share that he had a lot of troubles with, I know, his wife. He got a divorce first, and now with his wife, now with his kids, all of this stuff, with his dad, with his like relationship with his dad, so on. So like that kind of, even if he's like a super movie star, that usually like these huge stars are super like not very open about their private lives, and they don't like them as a person. You see the movie star, but now with Will Smith, what I like is that you see the person and that
Yeah.
openness and everything. So that's something that is super inspiring for me.
Yeah, I think one thing that I would love to add to this one is like, yeah, I actually listened to his like autobiography. I finished the book because I was like, I think I wanted to go to bed at 9, and I ended up going to bed at 1 o'clock, and I was just 4 hours sitting in the bed and binging his audiobook. But one thing I would actually really recommend to people to do is actually to listen or read these autobiographies, because I've listened to quite a few. And what this creates, it creates, because usually there is like, let's say, regular people, us, and then there's these superstars, super icons, and we think they are just different. They are lucky, whatever, and we label them, and we think it's impossible to do that. But when we hear these stories from autobiographies and so on, it really gives you the feeling like, holy shit, they are just normal people. They worked hard, they did this thing. They might have some lucky moment or this and that, but in general, a lot of those people came from a lot shittier situations than us, and so on. And it just gives perspective. So I don't know, I'm now, when after listening to all these biographies and so on, when I hear somebody trash, on whatever, on Steve Jobs, on this and that, it's always like, you don't know their story and so on. So
exactly.
It's a great way how to add perspective and just understand. So yeah, massive kudos to this one as well.
Yeah, I think that the takeaway, and now we can move on, is like the vulnerability aspect of being a creator, but also like you are a human too. So that also even applies for us on Twitter or whatever. Every time that I share something personal from me, like I don't know, that I got fired or something like that, like people kind of relate to that, and they like to see that side of the creator too. So I think that's
Yep. Okay, I will go with my second one, which I believe, I believe I discovered this earlier than my third one. But yeah, it's Casey Neistat. For me, most of people probably know he's a vlogger, YouTuber. Now he's more or less retired, just don't do much of a videos. I don't know what he does, but he mostly spends time with family and just probably do some interesting projects. But he's not that active in YouTube anymore. But there was a time when he did like daily vlogs for more than 2 years, I think, or something. And yeah, it was just very inspiring, just very inspiring person. You know, what I think I learned from him is just this extreme not giving a shit what other people think about him. Because like, I don't know, if you look at his life and so on, like the odds are kind of against him, and he was like always just fuck it, I will do it anyway. And I don't know, just very inspiring dude to watch, and being extremely vulnerable and extremely open. And there's like this zero polish about videography and anything. It's just always taking phone and doing his runs and showing his family and so on. It's not like I'm promoting everything that he's doing, but it's very inspiring to watch that type of person. And yeah, there's quite a few videos actually that he have made, which is very high signal, very advice driven, you know, how to deal with excuses. And he has a couple of other very viral videos. If you go to his channel and if you scroll by popularity, I think you can find them. And yeah, those are actually the videos that I've probably shared, you know, the most from some sort of YouTuber, because they are, I think, very high signal and very, I don't know, emotional and dope. He's an awesome filmmaker. So yeah, huge love for Casey.
What I love about him is that you can really tell how he influenced a whole generation of YouTubers style-wise too, you know, because the style that he released, like he records his videos, now a lot of people are picking that up, you know, because he was, I think he was one of the OGs, you can say, you know, like from YouTube in the blogging and stuff like that every day. And now you can see how that, you know, passed into the next generation, I think, of YouTubers. So that's super cool to see too.
Yeah, completely agree. He have done huge, I think, for kind of all this creative economy or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's the third one for you? Yeah, third one.
So the third one for me is one thing I do before I go to bed every day is to read, but I try to read, I always read fiction. I don't read like business books or anything before bed because, you know, I don't want to activate my mind. So I read a lot of fiction, and inside the fiction, I read a lot of science fiction and fantasy books, which is something that I really enjoy since I was like a kid. And one of my favorite writers from, you know, like the past 2 years has been Brandon Sanderson. He's like, besides that, he's a great writer and the stories that he writes are super cool. What I like about him is that he's super prolific. So he basically releases, I think it's up to 2 or 3 books per year. And we are not talking about like small books. We are talking about like books that are 400, 500 pages, you know, like per year. And he has like one massive decalogy. I don't know if it's called like that in English, but he's writing it right now. He's going by the 4th or the 5th book right now. And each of these books is like 1,000 pages long. And while he's writing that, which is his like magnus opus, you know, like his, you know, the work of his life is that decalogy, he's writing like shorter books in between, which are from different series. And the cool thing is that everything kind of happens in the same universe. So all these stories are like linked between each other, kind of like the Marvel universe, you know, but for like fantasy reading. So it's super cool. And for me, what I like about him, as I said, is besides the stories, like how prolific he is. And I remember that a few days ago, he posted on Twitter, okay, I'm finishing this book, which is part of his shorter books. And I need to write like the last 15% of the book. And I'm going to do it like live on Twitter. So he basically was live tweeting the process of writing. So he was like, okay, now I've done like a short chapter, now onto a long one. And then half an hour later, he was like, okay, now I did a long one. Now I'm going to do this one because here and that. So that was super cool. That
fiction writer building in public. That's cool.
Yeah, basically like he's super open. Like he has a YouTube channel too. He has he's super active on Twitter and a YouTube channel. I remember that was super fun because he does live streams while he signs books, you know, like he does some book signing. So instead of being his office board, he does like a live stream signing books and people asking questions, you know, and he's responding questions while he signs, I don't know, 3,000 books or something like that for 2 hours. So that's super interesting to, you know, like his social aspect, you know, he involves a lot his community and so on. So I really like him. And besides, the stories are super cool. Like if you're a nerd like me. So yeah.
That's cool. Sounds like a good one. Awesome.
Yeah.
But didn't know this guy. That this was the first time for me. I'm not in that. No, I'm not into fiction at all. But maybe I will someday. I will grow up.
You should.
I will grow up. Yeah. Okay. Last one for me is Matt Diavella. This is another YouTuber, and kind of, if you would actually look into my YouTube channel, if there is a YouTube channel where I have watched nearly all of the episodes, this is the guy. Like, there was a point, it was before I actually was creating visuals and so on. There was a point where I just, yeah, I watched every single one of his videos, because what this was actually the first guy, because I was very interested into creative space and so on. I wanted to be a creator and so on, and kind of the message, and still that's the message that I get today, which I hear a lot, is that be consistent, first shitty draft, and all that is good, but there's most of this, like, be crappy, be consistent, just produce noise, blah 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 blah. And I was kind of, I'm a perfectionist. I will admit it. I'm a perfectionist, and this was the first guy who kind of showed me that you can break through with quality, and he kind of implemented this message. Fuck that daily whatever blogging or whatever. Just produce amazing work, and people will love it, and you can kind of make it as a creative in that sort of way as well. So that was kind of the big lesson I learned from him. Overall, he's just extremely, he puts a lot of work into it. He's no magician or whatever, but it's a very high quality stuff. It's a very well scripted videos, good advice, and the jokes usually just land and makes the things go viral. So yeah, and he actually inspired me to start a YouTube channel as well. I think I did 4 videos. Please don't Google them and don't watch them.
Ooh.
It's terrible. It's so cringy. It's like the production quality is super amazing. I did like all Matt Diavella style, crazy high quality, but it's just so cringy to watch me talk and try to pretend this self-help guru. It's disgusting. Please don't watch it. Okay, but
now you say that. Now that you said it, you know that people are going to Google it, right?
Yeah, you can. It's one of my old channels. I have not removed it, so you can dig it up. But it's just so cringy. But okay, I'm being vulnerable. I'm ashamed of them, but they are out there. So yeah, I did those, but it was unsustainable. I kind of like video production as well, but I think, yeah, I don't know. In future, I might just do it here every now and then, but it's more like a one-off project, not something I want to do on a weekly basis. But yeah, Matt Diavella, amazing dude. And actually, yeah, like visuals led me to work with him.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, you work with him, right? So that's super cool.
That was insane. Yeah, we had this, the behind story of this. It was, I think, Jamie Russo, a common friend of ours on Twitter. He asked, who is your favorite creator? And at that moment, I was kind of, Matt Diavella. I think I tweeted something that I have never regretted watching one of Matt Diavella's videos or something like that. And he said, he kind of replied, thanks, Janis, by the way, like, love your illustrations, would be up for a potential work or something. I was like, what?
Wow.
I was completely floored. And then I actually managed to talk with him. So yeah, I have chatted with one of my idols. We had a 30-minute conversation. Yeah, I didn't took a screenshot. I was
of course
I was trying to be cool. So yeah,
I mean, how cool is that you just tag him on Twitter and he sees what you do, like your portfolio, let's say your content is your portfolio, and then he just, like, hey, let's work together, Yeah. That's super cool.
I don't know if he discovered me then or previously or something. I didn't never really ask him, but yeah, it definitely was a trigger. So I was like, holy shit. But yeah, cool. That's that. I think it was an awesome episode. It was like cool.
Yeah.
We got our favorite creators and some things we have learned from them.
I liked it.
We could do it again, maybe with some different people. I think it's a cool short episode. By the way, before we wrap up, we kind of have started this podcast with Alex, and let us know what you think. Give us some feedback. We will add our Twitter thing, and just let us know what do you think, what we can improve, what we can talk about, and so on.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I think it was a super fun episode, and people can just tell us feedback. We're super open to hearing it and to get better with it, because it's the first time for any of us that we do something like that. So feedback, appreciate it.
Exactly. And English is not our native language, so
no, not at all.
we get plus points for that, for doing this in English.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers, guys. Thank you for watching, listening. Enjoy your days. Be awesome. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.